yeah, 50,000 subscribers. So thank you. I'm going to share something with you that I think you'll appreciate. Here we go. Let's have a nosy round in here. See what's going on, shall we? I'd had the YouTube channel sort of kicking around. I'd never been on camera. I never wanted to be on camera. This was the first room that I built when I obtained these premises many years ago. It is now my control room. All the gear and no idea. This has never really been about me. It's always been about us and the community. And I have this dream. I have a dream. If there's enough support, if I can get enough support, we can build something of real value to the community. Hello, it's me again. Welcome to the Guitaristas. So, 50,000 subscribers, or nearly, 49,650 I think it says, doesn't it? I just took that screen grab before I started filming this. But, you know, that'll tick over for the next week and pretty confident that'll hit 50K. Be embarrassing if it doesn't, won't it? Yeah, I'm confident. The curve goes like that. It ain't going to suddenly just, well, it might do. Let's not worry about that till it happens. But anyway, yeah, 50,000 subscribers. So thank you. Because it's you that did that, not me. Before you start leaving comments, though, that say congratulations or congrats or any of those celebrations emojis, they're all banned, okay? They're all banned in the comments. Seriously, I banned them all I blocked them all a little while ago to try and prevent those Telegram scammers from trying to lure you with their wicked ways of telling you you've won something, which you hadn't. So, this week will be fun to try and find alternative ways of saying congratulations. If you want to congratulate me, stuff like well done, or I'm sure you can think of some more creative and fun ways of saying congratulations without actually saying congratulations. So please, let's have a bit of a laugh with that in the comments, and I thank you in advance. So yeah, 50,000 subscribers. It's quite incredible. It's taken almost 3 years to do that, and I don't underestimate that achievement because it's pretty incredible. There's a lot of YouTubers that struggle a lot longer, you know, to gain even a fraction of that. So I really am grateful for the support that you've given to me and this channel and the stuff that I do over that period. So, but it's hard work. Now, right, here's the crux of the matter. I think I've called this something like 50K Burnout Special. Because, yeah, I mean, that's 3 years. Every week I've produced a film for you, week in, week out, on my own. There's nobody else here helping me. It's just me, okay? And I'm exhausted. You can see my eyes. Sometimes I look at myself on camera and I think, you're wired, man. You should really calm down. Anyway, we soldier on, and here we are, and it's all worthwhile. But this week, I thought to celebrate, I might give myself a little bit of a break, seriously, and have a couple of weeks off. Don't worry though, there's still content. This is week 1, and you're watching it, aren't you? So yeah, there's content. But rather than make a new film this week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share something with you that I think you'll appreciate. It's a studio tour. And a bit of backstory, a bit of info about how this has all happened, how it all came about. This is a film that I made for the subscription TV channel about 18 months ago now. So I'm going to share it with you now for the first time on YouTube. 18 months out of date, obviously, because I made it 18 months ago. So a lot of the guitars and the amps you see here, some of them will have gone, and there'll be new ones to have replaced them. The circle of guitars and amps has kept a turning in that time. So you're going to see some stuff on the walls and in the corners that you might not have seen before that I've had over that period, and there's stuff that I've got now that in here. But it's all, anyway, look, you get the idea, don't you? I made this 18 months ago, so it's not bang up to date, but I think you'll enjoy it anyway. So check this out. It's about 20 minutes long. And then what I'll do is I'll catch up with you afterwards, because I want to talk to you a little bit more about the future of the channel, where we're going from here, for the next 50k really. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, we're on a trading estate somewhere in Essex, and I've got a feeling that behind this door is the secret location, the Guitaristas studio. So let's see if anyone's in.
What do you want?
Hello, is this the Guitaristas?
We're busy, fuck off.
Okay, so here we are in the lobby basically, and as you can see, it's not finished. I gave up. I finished the inside and still haven't finished the outside yet, so cardboard boxes. And here it is, the media garage, that's what we call it. Open that door. First studio, Studio 3, which we call the fallout shelter. Here we go, let's have a nosy round in here, see what's going on, shall we? So this was originally built as a rehearsal studio. As you can see, there's a drum kit and all the gear. So you'll recognise this from the call wall. There you go, there's the stuff on the back still. I don't use this downstairs studio very often, main reason being, once the lights and cameras are set up, mainly lights to be honest with you, but once they're set up and I'm sort of relatively happy with how it looks, I tend to leave it alone, because it's quite a faff moving it all. And this used to be, or this is still, it's part of a garage. So the other side of this wall here, the other side of, yeah, that's the bass rig. The other side of that wall is garage still. So this is built inside a big old industrial unit. I'm going to drop a couple of shots in here so you can actually see what was here. I'll try and do it from this angle. That's what it was like before the pandemic. I started converting this beginning of 2020. And I'll tell you a bit more about it in a minute. This is the fallout shelter. So let's go and look upstairs at Studio 2, which is where I've done most of the recording. I called this the Nigel Barber Suite in honour of my lovely drummer. This is basically the kitchen. I've got some posters up from stuff that I've done over the years. Okay, and then again another soundproofed studio here, which we call pandemic room, for obvious reasons. Again, this was built during the pandemic, and this is another studio built inside, you know, up on the mezzanine of this industrial unit. Some of my guitars on the back wall. At some point now, what I'll do is we'll go through these. Some of those SGs you've not seen at all, and they're quite interesting, some of those. And I've got the Flying V on there because obviously I took the Epiphone SG off the wall for last week. So this looks, let's put that down. As you can see, that's the thumbnail from last week. So that's how I finished up on Thursday night. Last thing I do generally is shoot the thumbnail while I'm rendering or laying off the film, should I say. So that's the thumbnail shot. So what I'm doing this morning is I'll come in and I'll start just moving stuff around, getting ready to start shooting for next Friday's film, which I normally do the prep at the weekend and then start shooting on Monday morning. Okay, so I've got to move these lights here downstairs and reset them. A couple of lights there. I've got a couple of soft boxes. That's what they're called, isn't it? But there you go. Let's just have a quick nose while we're here. Obviously, you know the Strat. A couple of old Marshalls there. A TSL 100, which is great, and Mode 4, which is great. There you go. Have a little nosy at some of my amps. Black Star Stage 100. That's a great little thing. There's another 4x12 behind there. What I've got there, the AC15 single rectifier, Rectiverb 50. That isn't a Marshall in the middle. That's an Albion, which was made by Steve Grindrod, who worked for Marshall and Vox for years, and that's a really good little amp actually, and it was cheap. I should use it at some point. Another little Black Star there. What we got in the corner, we got Deluxe Reverb 2. Behind that, I think we've got the Hot Rod Deluxe, Supro, stuff, you know, stuff. We'll go through it all properly at another time. But there you go, that's what this studio looks like. Oh yeah, more guitars there. Couple of more guitars there. Couple of more. And that's what I call my band, the White Dopes. Oh yeah, there you go. That's my planning board. As you can see, it's completely blank. I never use it. What I do is pretty much always entirely improvised. Oh, and that's my workbench that you'll see me sitting at in this position more often than not. Let's go and have a look at the control room where I do the editing. So yeah, that is behind this door. Ta-da! And there's another studio back here. So when I built this was the first room that I built when I obtained these premises many years ago as a rehearsal space. It is now my control room. There you go. All the gear and no idea. More guitars. More guitars. Jamie Reed, limited edition. More planning. That acoustic is an L. I was right, I thought it was L5 or L50. L50, I think it is, isn't it? 1947. Pretty much the only acoustic I've got. Spend a lot of time in here. And this here is another studio. This was the second room that I built. Another soundproof room. Oh, here's my exercise bike that I use to hang my shirts on, obviously. Cases. This is the case room, really. Another drum kit I got on the cheap from a studio that shut down because of the pandemic, actually, in London. I went up there, I bought a Vox AC30 head, cheap because they were closing, and this cheap because they were closing. This was an ex-hire kit. This is a 80s Pearl Export, brilliant kit. Sounds awesome. I'm kind of trying to learn. There you go, more cases. Some projects, pickups, bits and bobs, tools. Yeah, so this is kind of, you can see how this room is currently functioning at the moment. So let's go back downstairs, sit down, and I'll tell you a little bit more about why I have this place. Clearly, I didn't spend all this money just to start a YouTube channel. That would be foolish. So you might be wondering why I've got this studio. I built it. It's why I've got it. Why I built it is, well, I'll tell you a little bit about that as well. A little bit of backstory and a little bit about what this is all about. So my background, a lot of people assume that it's music and production, but it's not. It is production, but not music. I gave up music when I was 25. I gave up music when I was 25, but I'd been in a band for, well, you know, since I was early teens, and I'd been promoting my own gigs. And, you know, obviously being a musician at 25, I had no other career planned out, mapped out for me. But I wanted to do something. So I started off promoting gigs, you know, like I was promoting my own band's gigs. So I started off promoting gigs, and I created a business out of it for a while. You know, became an agent, all sorts of stuff, you know, stuff really, some bands, a little, you know, bit of cabaret stuff really. And eventually, I mean, this is a long story, so I won't bore you with it, but that evolved in the late 80s. There was a revolution, not in music, but in comedy and stand-up comedy, or alternative comedy, as it was christened at that time in the UK. It became the new rock and roll. So I sort of moved into the comedy industry by running clubs and booking comedians and promoting comedians and managing comedians and producing comedians. And long story short, I've ended up the last decade or so as a producer. 15 years probably as a producer, running a production company, specialising in comedy, shooting comedy specials basically. So I produce them and I started to direct them, and in more recent years edit them. Okay, so it's all beginning to add up, isn't it? This kit has come from that basically. Cameras and the skills, what they are, have been learned over the years making TV specials and comedy specials and some TV shows. I worked for Comedy Central for quite a long time as a freelancer, but making comedy shows for them. Okay, so when the pandemic hit, I was left high and dry, like pretty much everyone in the music and theatre industry. Work shut down, and we were about to be filming a tour that we'd been planning to do, another TV special, and was about to get involved in making that, and it was cancelled. The tour was cancelled, pulled, and nothing happened for 2 years. Well, I'll just rewind a little bit. So when that was cancelled, I thought I'd use my time wise. I thought, brilliant, I'll have some time off, is the truth of the matter. And I'd been planning to do some work on this space, which is an industrial unit that I'd owned for quite a long time. Where the control room is, that was a little soundproof room that I built years ago just so that I could play my guitars loud. And then the studio on the back where the clothes hanger exercise bike is, that was my rehearsal room for my band. I built that. And then the other room where I film most of my stuff now, that was a big open place and lots of noise. You couldn't do anything in there because it was too noisy from noise coming in from the outside, you know, banging, sawing, you know, the sort of noises you'd expect to get on an industrial estate. And down here, where I'm sitting at the moment, this was a garage. Well, still is a garage. The other side of that wall, and the other side of that wall. This is about a quarter of it. And there was a big car lift here. Here's another picture of that. That's here. That's where I'm sitting now. So when the pandemic hit, I planned to do some soundproofing. This particular bit, I thought I wanted it was quite a bit of wasted space. So I thought I'd build a rehearsal room down here, and it's a potential income source, for bands to rehearse and record and stuff. So, I set about doing that. And then the pandemic went on for quite a long time. So when I finished this, I thought I actually managed to devise a way whereby I could create another studio upstairs and partition the studio section off. Behind the studio, there's still loads of storage space and that, but no one ever goes there. And I'll never show you what's going on behind there. There's a lot of stuff behind there. But I've managed to hive off a really nice little studio complex. And obviously I'm, wired up to Pro Tools. There's, DI boxes in all the studios here, and I did an AV link to all of the studios. So effectively you could have, at that time I thought, you could have socially distanced recording. You could do it all by links. You could do a lot in here. You can have loud guitars, loud drums, whatever. There's no problems there. So that was the plan. I was going to open it as I was going to start. I'm of the age I'm getting into retirement, semi-retirement anyway. I'm lucky I still earn some money from royalties for the production work that I did. But the plan was I'd start using this for commercial purposes. So when I was ready to do that it was like October, November 2020, wasn't it? There was another lockdown in the UK. So I couldn't have anyone in here. So I'd had the YouTube channel sort of kicking around. I'd never been on camera. I never wanted to be on camera. But I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose now. I've got no one to play with. So I'll have a go, really, and see what it's like. And I was, if you look at the first couple that I did, I was quite, I was trying to be cool, not really say very much. But I'd plucked up the courage to have my face on camera and, want to look at my fat face, which I didn't think anyone would want to do that. But I got over myself and I had a go. And actually, I was quite pleased with the results, and I got some really positive feedback pretty quickly. And I started getting a few views, and I suppose I got addicted to it straight away. And of course, it gave me immediately that excuse to buy gear, which was like catnip, Oh, fantastic. I'll turn this into a business. I'd broken that final piece of the jigsaw. Throughout my career, I've never been the on-screen talent. I've been an agent, I've been a manager, I've been a producer, a director, but I've never been the talent. So it's hilarious to find myself in this position now that I started having a go at it, and for some bizarre reason, people like what I do. So I carried on doing it, and obviously now where we are now, it's 18 months since that. Well, actually, I can plot out when it was, yeah. So it was 18 months ago. It was when I started it in November 2020, and now it took me not very long. I know you see about YouTubers say they go on for years and years and years before they can get monetized, which means you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can start having ads running on the channel. But it took me 6 months. And that was a lot quicker than I expected it to. 6 months, and then I started to run ads on the channel, and then I had a real purple patch, and it got up to about 5,000 subscribers in a few months actually it was, and then within 6 months I'd hit 10,000 subscribers. It's just amazing, and it's continued to grow pretty much at that rate, which is amazing. So thank you. This obviously the TV channel, the subscription channel is my solution. Yeah, my solution to try and monetize it properly, because you guys are probably aware. We've seen this. I put all my time into this now. it's at least 4 days a week, full on. It's pretty much 2 days a week filming and 2 days a week editing, post-production. There's a lot goes into it. You guys, I know some of you know, but you wouldn't believe the amount of data that I just create shooting this stuff. You know, it's all in 4K. I do multi-camera stuff and I edit it. It takes forever, but I love doing it. I really love making the films. This is just perfect for me. And I just get on with it, and nobody's telling me what I can and can't do, which I love because I've worked in telly for so long. It's a bloody frustrating industry, I can tell you that much. So this is brilliant. I'm very lucky, as I said. I get some royalties coming in from stuff that I've done over the years. But I've pretty much given up on doing proper work now. I'm not looking for it, and I'm turning stuff down because I can't afford the time and do this, and I think this has got a real future. So the TV channel is my way to try and monetize it properly. The ad revenue from YouTube is insufficient and hugely unreliable, as everybody will tell you. So most people make up their money by doing paid reviews, sponsorship, taking sponsorship, stuff like that. I'm going to try and avoid doing that because I want to do what I like and talk about and say what I think without having to bow to somebody else's agenda. So there you go. That was me having a bad hair day 18 months ago. So not much has changed, has it? Well, some things have, obviously. Since then, 18 months, I've added another, approximately 40,000 subscribers. So it's fantastic. The growth has continued. And a few other things changed. I mentioned in that I was able to set this up, and get a start, because I had this passive income coming in, legacy royalties or points from previous things that I'd made. What has changed, 18 months is quite a long time. And that's dwindled now. Dwindled, not to nothing, but not to much. People just don't want to pay for content anymore. People don't want to pay for content. So as a creator, it's hard to earn a living. As people are always saying that on YouTube. You watch this on YouTube. Wow, 50,000 subscribers. And I get just a share of that ad revenue from the views that you make, which of course I appreciate. But that ad revenue is really a fraction of what you might imagine it is. You need hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views. Yeah, let's not beat around the bush. You need millions of views on YouTube to earn anything. Without, of course, a sponsorship, which everyone does, but I don't do sponsorship. I have said so many times I want to avoid sponsorship. I get offered free guitars to review, and I get offered all sorts of nonsense to review and pay. People want to pay me to endorse their products because I suppose they think I'm an influencer. But that's not what I want to do, and that's not what this channel is about. So I wanted to just share with you the future of this channel. Because clearly for me to carry on being able to do this week in, week out for another 3 years, so that hopefully we hit 100,000 subscribers in 3 years. That's my plan, okay? I want one of them plaques that YouTubers have that says, one of them platinum, whatever they are, and them silver plaques that says, I'm a YouTuber. I want one of them. You get one of those at 100,000. So that's my target. But you don't get paid for subscribers. You get paid for views. And as I've said, you need millions of views to earn decent money. So YouTubers obviously have to support that, with sponsorship and affiliate links, where everything they look at the pen I'm using this week. You can buy that if you want via Amazon and I'll get paid. That's bollocks. I did try affiliate links from reverb.com for a brief period, and I just found it annoying because for a brief period there I was finding every excuse to say, have a look at and buy one on Reverb, will you? Which is just, it's not what I'm about. So I've stopped that. I don't have any sponsorship or anything. So how am I earning a living? Well, just recently, I've actually taken on work, proper work again. I've been engaged to film, produce and edit some shows, live shows. So yeah, I've been busy off doing that. You haven't noticed because I've been banging out the content all the same. But yeah, it's been a punishing last month, to be honest with you, and I've got some more stuff coming up. And I've just got to the point where I go, well, I've got to do that because the money that I get for that just destroys the income that I get from YouTube. So I go, yeah, really, that's earning a living. This is, I don't know. Well, I always said it was a bit of a guitar-based Ponzi scheme, and it is. But that, you know, at some point you've got to wake up and you go, well, yeah, fair enough, but I need to turn this into a business. But I always knew that was going to be a thing. So I started that two years ago. I launched the subscription model, my TV channel. I'm often mention it, but I don't really bang on about it, do I? The TV subscription channel, theguitaristas.vhx.tv. That's well, it's very simple. It's exactly like this, but you don't have to watch adverts and you get extra content. Like the film that you've just watched, I made that 18 months ago, and there's loads of other stuff on there. And I've been working on this Strummer project build. I've mentioned it a couple of times on YouTube, but yeah, behind the scenes in the inner sanctum of Guitaristas, the Illuminati of Guitaristas, supporters, people that are actually prepared to pay a few dollars to watch me talk bollocks. There's stuff going on. There's a whole world going on. And that world is evolving. And that is the future. That is the future that will support the YouTube channel, because that will pay the bills when YouTube doesn't, and will enable me to keep on making the content for YouTube. So I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you all on YouTube, share a little bit of what's been going on, and urge you, if I can, to try and support the channel properly, dare I say properly, by checking out the TV channel. It's 30 days free, so you can go over there and you can watch stuff for free, or can catch up on all the extra content I've made if you want. There's hours of it. And then if you want to stick around with us, it's $5 a month or $50 a year. You can sign up to a full year's access for $50, 49, what is it? I don't know, $50. It's no more than that. $50 a year. Here you go, bing. And that supports the channel here. Let me put this into context. If I had 50,000 subscribers on the TV channel, I would be able to employ, you can do the math yourself, I would be able to employ a whole team of people here, content creators, to make stuff, loads of stuff. It wouldn't just be one film a week, it'd be loads of stuff by loads of different people. As you saw in this studio tour you've just watched, I've got the space here. There's 3 studios here and a control room. I could have stuff going on all the time. And that's, I suppose, I'll share with you my plan for the subscription model, the TV channel, the Guitaristas. It's never really been about me. It's always been about us and the community. And I have this dream. I have a dream. If there's enough support, if I can get enough support, if I can get a decent number of subscribers, and I'll be honest, we're in the hundreds, or we're already in the hundreds on the TV channel, which is fabulous because it contributes. Trust me, it pays for some of this stuff. We're in the hundreds. If we can get into the thousands, we're in business. We can start to introduce more content creators on the Guitaristas channel, TV channel. We can build something of real value to the community. And there are people that I see on YouTube, and I'd love to have them on my channel. And when I can afford to pay them, I will. We'll get them on. We'll get other people doing reviews. We'll get some of the best content creators in the world that can't afford to carry on making content on YouTube. We can create a platform that actually pays something. Imagine. Imagine. There you go. As you can tell, I'm exhausted. I'm having the rest of this week off. Next week, well, I'm not actually, I'm lying already. I'm finishing this. This is the Joe Strummer amateur built project that I've been making on the TV channel as an extra series. I'm on episode 7 now. This is episode 7, and I'm going to finish this now. And that'll be posted on the TV channel for next week. So please, I'm not going to make a film for YouTube next week because I need next week off. I really need to just lie down, okay, in a darkened room and not think about what I've got to do next. So take that opportunity to go to the TV channel. There's the address. Type it in your web browser. Go there and sign up for 30 days free. At the end of that time, you don't have to pay anything. Ideally, you'll enjoy it and you'll think, oh yeah, I want to support this going forward. This is for us. So please do stick around after 30 days, but you don't have to. There's no obligation. But go over there so at least next week you've got a film to watch. So I hope to see you there. I'll be back here in a couple of weeks' time. Thanks again. See you then. Ta-ra.